Hi guys. Today I am going to be trying, something a little bit, I mean, if you paid attention long enough to my channel, it's not really new as far as, like, subject matter, but, it's a new game, and I'll do a little bit more explaining once more people come into the chat, because this is kind of something I kind of want to explain. Um, because I don't know how many people know about what I'm playing. In fact, I pretty much don't know much about it either. So, I'm going to explain to you guys as much as I know about what this is, because I haven't really, uh, did much research on this. It's just something that kind of happened, and I have mixed feelings about it. Um, so yeah, it's though I like I'll explain more once people come in, cause that way the most people get the most explanation out of it. Um, so when you so if you happen to if you happen into the live stream, if you're currently in the live stream right now, um, just let me know, cause I want to be able to start explaining things so that we can get a move on as far as stuff. Um, so we can actually try this out. Because it's something I want to try it out at least once. I mean, if I don't like it, I don't have to play it. Um, I mean, if it turns out to be like how much I hate Resident Evil 6, because good lord, you guys know how much I hate Resident Evil 6. I'll just do with that like I do with this game, like I do Resident Evil 6. I ignore it and pretend it never happened, and you know, it'll be the black sheep of the family, I guess. It'll be like the black sheep of the Resident Evil family. um, ooh, we got more people coming in. Hello, whoever just came in. Uh, I don't know who just came in, but, as I was saying earlier, before anyone came in, I'm going to be trying out a new game. I was waiting for more people to come in so I can actually start explaining so that more people can actually like, come in, like, once people in, they can understand, what this is. Um, so with you, oh hey Xylanth, with you and Xylanth, I'm going to start explaining essentially what this is as far as I know, because I don't know, because like I said earlier, I don't know much about this. Um, this is a multiplayer Resident Evil game. It's I think if I remember from what little bit I know, if I remember a little bit from what I know, it's kind of like a sort of kind of like a battle royale game. Um, I think it's more in the style of the whole little kind of like side things like the extra modes you get in like Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, more apt to Resident Evil 5. Um, Stuff like that. I think. I don't know much about it because I haven't paid much attention to it. All I know is that it's a multiplayer game. Yeah, it's part of Resident Evil Village. Um, if you got a physical copy of it, like I did, if you pre-ordered it, I think it's if you pre-ordered it. At least it was in my case. If you pre-order Resident Evil Village, you got a code to download this game. Also, there was beta testing for it. I just never got around to actually beta testing it. By the time I figured out there was beta testing for it, it had already ended. So I'm like, well, that's just peachy. Yeah. Um, so I am going to get. I've had this since I got Resident Evil Village, which was about the time I started uploading my Let's Play of it. So I've had this for at least a week, and I haven't touched it. So we're going to touch it today, and we're going to see just how much more I'm going to touch it. Because, like I said before, if this turns out, well, I'm not streaming Village. I'm doing a Let's Play of it. I have four parts of up right now. The reason why I'm not streaming it, I'm doing a Let's Play of it, is because with my internet as shoddy as it is, I want you guys to be able to see everything that I see. So that's why I'm doing a Let's Play of it. That way, there's no chance of me disconnecting. So yeah, like each part's about an hour long. I'm gonna try to do some more episodes, at least record more episodes tomorrow and Tuesday, because those are my 2 days off. But so far, from what I like it, I like it a lot. I am very thirsty over Lady Dimitrescu. When you watch my videos, you will see. Dear God, yeah. But we're going to, okay, so apparently we're not able to actually play this, because we're not actually able to play this because the service for this has not just started. Wait, I've had this for a week. How did you not start service for this yet, Capcom? And furthermore, this game has been out since the 8th. I just got this game last week. Like, how, like, I had the option of getting this game the day it came out. So, like, how, Capcom, how? Like, how? Like, why? Like, okay, just so, like, a fair bit of reference for you guys. If I remember correctly, Resident Evil Village came out on May 8th. And it is now currently May 23rd, which is a good, just about, well, it just hit 2 weeks since the game came out. Like, it's been at least 2 weeks since the game came out. No, actually, I haven't, Xylanth. If you see on the screen, the service for this online game hasn't actually started yet. Like, the service hasn't started for the game yet. So, like, I can't even, like, I can't even play this game. Okay, so Xylanth, what I was saying earlier was that, okay, so Resident Evil Village and, okay, let me back up a few more paces here. Okay, so if you pre-ordered Resident Evil Village, our Reverse here came with it, came bundled in. You got a code to download Reverse here. And so, Resident Evil Village came out on May 8th. That was just over 2 weeks ago. Like, yesterday was 2 weeks ago when the game came out. I got the game about last week. I would have to check when I uploaded my video, but my first video of this game. But I roughly got it a week ago. So this game and Capcom has had like 2 weeks to simmer and to like do its thing and to get service up. And as you just saw, which I'm gonna show again for like the internet, the service for this game has not yet started yet, and they want us to try again later. So, like, this, like, I don't know what Capcom is doing as far as, like, getting service up. Well, I got Resident Evil, Alex, I got Resident Evil stuff up. I got 4 parts of my Resident Evil Village up already that you can watch. I got the Let's Play of that going. Honestly, I do want Whisker back. Like, I really do want Whisker back. We do have Hunk, if you can't tell from the left side of the screen right on the start menu. We got Hunk. We do have Jill, which is the Resident Evil 3 remake of Jill. We have Ada, which is the Resident Evil 2 remake version of Ada. We have Claire and Leon. Stop making fun of how I say his name. I can't help it. I say his name weird. It sounds fine when I say it, when I listen to myself. Gosh. But we got Resident Evil 2 remake of Claire and Leon. I think that is either Piers or Chris that's next to Ada. If it's Piers, then there's a good chance they have Whisker coming back, because Piers is dead as far as Resident Evil 6 is concerned. Like, Piers is straight up Piers is straight up dead at the end of Resident Evil 6. Like, he committed unlife, which is like the way you have to say it on YouTube so that YouTube doesn't take your video down. He committed unlife on himself. So, like, he sacrificed himself, committed unlife, and he's dead. So, if he's dead and he's in this game, then Whisker's going to be in this game probably. If that's Chris, then they are using the wrong model for him, because they got a new model for Resident Evil 8, which they should be using. But yeah. Yeah, it's the name of his persona. His persona is like an Echo or something like that. I guess that's how you say it. But yeah, like, I was going to come on this stream and like be like really awesome and show you guys a game and get my first reactions of it, but Capcom dropped the ball right at their feet here, and it's like, yeah, like we've had 2 weeks to like get our stuff together, and you know what we're going to do? We're just not going to do anything with this game. We're going to let you download it. It's like a 5 gig game on the PS4. Like, it takes 5 gigs to like download it. You know, we're going to have this title screen here. We're going to have the little icon thing on your Xmedia board thing, whatever the frick that's called now. And we're just not going to do anything with it. We're just going to, like, yeah. But yeah, I guess we can just sit here and talk, if you guys want. Like, we can like have like a chill discussion while I just sit here at a title screen and like just, you know, show you what the title screen looks like. I mean, I guess if that guys want to do, if you guys want to, you can guys ask me about like Resident Evil Village stuff if you want to. I mean, I haven't gotten too far into it. I've gotten like 4 hours into the game, but if you guys want to, I can answer like questions on what I've seen so far in the game. I'm like totally up to talking about that, like in a more chilled like thing, like where I'm not like screaming my head off. Well, not really screaming my head off. Where I'm not getting like scared by Lady D, and like getting oddly attracted to her, I guess. I mean, how do I think it compares to Resident Evil 7? I will say that it is. At first, to me, it does seem a lot like Resident Evil 7. Like it's like really claustrophobic and really closed in, and you do have the whole getting chased by like people like you did with the family, and especially the dad. Like the whole getting chased by people, like by the dad in Resident Evil 7. That does come back in this game, in Resident Evil Village. That is like a big thing, especially when you get to the castle and Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters. You will get chased by all 4 of them. Sometimes you'll end up with one person chasing you, and then she'll call her mom, and her mom will show up, and it's like, luckily, the good thing is, you're not getting chased by both of them at the same time. There is a very noticeable change whenever one starts chasing you. Whenever one of the daughters is chasing you, you will be surrounded by bugs. The moment Lady D starts chasing you, she will actually uh, whichever daughter happens to be chasing you will likely mention her mom, which I think it's supposed to imply that like she ran into her mom and so her mom's chasing you now. Um, yeah, like it is a lot more gothic, especially with the castle. The castle is just really grand and like it is a castle I would love to live in. Um, it is. Oh gosh, it's perfect. Yeah, like, and the thing is, like, I will say this about the Resident Evil 7 villains. I will say this to defend them, and I cannot say this enough. They, they, they. I'm really sympathetic to them, because they didn't choose to become evil. Like they brought in, um, the little girl. They didn't know that like she had powers that could turn them evil, and it like to, like they were just being really nice to her, and they you know it wasn't. It's not like Whisker, I will say. Like, it's not like Whisker where he's like decidedly evil. There's like a big difference between those two. Like, the Bakers, they eventually became evil, and it wasn't in their control. Wesker, on the other hand, he was just kind of, you know, like he was buttfuck evil, and he didn't really care. He chose to be that evil. Like that was his choice. The Bakers didn't really have a choice. And what little I know about Dimitrescu and her daughters, especially with her daughters, like I don't think especially her daughters, didn't choose like the what they're kind of like the Bakers. I feel really sympathetic to them. They seem to really care for each other, especially Lady Dimitrescu towards her daughters. Um, and I think it's part two or late part two, early part three. I do end up killing one of the daughters, and Dimitrescu does come across the dead body, because after you kill the daughter, she crystallizes, and so it's kind of there. Like she's going to come across it eventually, and like the when she does, you actually hear what she's saying, and like as much as I was defending myself to kill and trying to defend myself to not be like killed by the daughter, I feel really bad for killing her because like, oh hey, I killed I killed this lady's daughter. Like, it's not something like, hey, oh hey, I was kidnapped and brought to their castle and they're like holding me hostage or anything. I willingly went into their castle. Yes, I'm looking for Ethan's daughter, but like Lady D has already at the point like at the point where I'm at, she has already mentioned, hey, your kid is not here. And, you simply go into her castle, like, assaulting her and her daughters, when they're just trying to, like, yes, they're a little bit, they're a little bit on the weird side, compared to, like, other families, they're a little bit weird, but hey, every family is a little bit weird, every family has their quirk. Lady D and her family just happens to be vampires that like to toy with their meals. And, you just happen to be the first guy that they've had in the castle for a while, and they're kind of excited, they're vampires, they have to drink blood, they can't help it, and you just happen to be there. And the thing is, you came into their castle, like, and started assaulting them. Like I can understand, like, you weren't formally invited into their castle, like, I can understand Mrs. D being mad at you for coming into her castle and assaulting her daughters. So, like, I'm like, on this scale, I'm like, I'm on her side. Ethan does not need to be in there. Like, the moment he found out his daughter wasn't in there, it's the moment he should have just left. He should be like, yeah, I'll go elsewhere. There's, like, at least there's other places he could have looked. I mean, there's a whole a village which he could have looked. There's Heisenberg. He could have like looked for and asked about where his daughter's at. There's Mother Miranda, which, if you think about it, out of like all of the characters there, Mother Miranda would probably be like the best person to go to because she's this big, six-winged person. She would probably know where your daughter is. There's a creepy little kid that kind of looks like a doll, but isn't. Like, she might know. I don't know. And then there's this really weird deformed person that they might know where your daughter is. Like, but out of all of them, Mother Miranda is like probably the best one to ask where your daughter is. You don't need to stay in the castle once you find out that your daughter's not in there with Mrs. D. Yeah, you could have just like left the moment you found out. So yeah, Ethan, that really had no reason to stay there. He had no reason to stay there and like murder these people. They're vampires. You happen to be like a very specific meal that they haven't had in a while. They're excited. I can understand. So yeah. And another thing I will mention that, like, in one part of this game, which is end of part 3, beginning of part 4, because I ended up dying at the end of part 3. Mrs. D ends up using her really sharp claws to cut your hand off, your right hand off, and you just like, and you see this in part 4. I think it's part 4, but yeah, you see Ethan just like stick his hand back on the stump, pour like goop on it, like the healing goop on it, and it just like automatically reattaches itself to the stump, and he uses it just fine, like nothing happened to it, which is similar to what happened to his left arm in Resident Evil 7, where instead of like just holding it to the stump and pouring like healing goop on it, it got stapled back onto his hand, onto the stump. And I'm sitting here, and I talked about this to one of my coworkers who has the game. I'm like, I can understand. I can come to accept in the Resident Evil series 9.5 foot tall vampire ladies that are very attractive. I can come to accept zombie people that are considered werewolves but are called lichens in this game. I can come to understand. I can come to accept that. I can also come to accept weird parasite monsters or weird tentacle monsters that are the result of like parasite and virus combined. I can kind of understand, like, and this is complete BS too, I can kind of accept that there's a little kid with a virus in her that had some sort of like telepathic, uncontrollable, not really telepathic, but like supernatural, like, influence over people that she's nearby that can turn them evil. That I can understand. Like, that I can understand that, because that's vile stuff there. That's virus stuff. That's stuff that's been specifically scientifically engineered to happen. What I can't come to accept is some rando dude from the middle of bumfuck wherever he's from just sticking a severed hand back onto the stump, pouring healing goop onto it, which consists of nothing but a green herb and chem fluid. He can just pour that onto the stump that's being held to a severed arm, and it just heals up like nothing happened, and he's able to use it without any sort of like nerve damage or any sort of like irreversible effects. I also can accept the fact that he got his other arm chopped off and it got stapled to his hand, and there doesn't seem to be any like scars or any irreversible damage to that. I'm like, they do? Okay, good, because at this point I'm like, I don't know how this is happening. Like, this needs to be explained. Like, is he some sort of like super soldier now? Like, I don't know. Like, at this point of the, like, I even mentioned this in the Let's Play. Like, at this point of the game, I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, why is this even happening? Like, even back in Resident Evil 7, I was like, this is weird. This shouldn't be happening. Why is this even happening? Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, also, the funny thing is, okay, so for a while now, I've been kind of wondering about, because I knew Lady D would chase you throughout the castle. It was a thing that they showed in all the promotional stuff for the game. Like, I kind of knew that already. I was always wondering, like, how her AI package was, like, developed. Like, because at this point, we've had Resident Evil 2 Remake and we've had Resident Evil 3 Remake. And they've had different AI packages for both Mr. T and Nemesis. And I was like, well, with Mr. X, but did I say Mr. T? I think I could have sworn I said Mr. T, but I meant Mr. X. But anyway, with Mr. X, his AI package was actually really good. Like, I will gush like hours about how good Mr. X's AI package is. And I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. My mother was having computer problems. I had to help out with it. Now I'm imagining Resident Evil 2 remake with Mr. T. I, honestly, I would actually love to see that. Like, I mean, with how good modders are at modding stuff now, especially with some of the things they did with Mr. X back when Resident Evil 2 was like the thing. Good lord, I don't know if this is going to get me like knocked off of YouTube, but they had Mr. X in a Speedo. I'm like, oh my god, why? Like, good lord, why? Why do we need this? Like, hey, if you're into that, fine for you, but I'm like, oh lord, this is not something I need personally. I do not need to see Mr. X in a Speedo here. But yeah, with what modders can do nowadays, I wouldn't put it past someone deciding to like say like, oh hey, let's put Mr. T into the game and put his voice acting in there, and I would if they did a mod like that, I would make a gaming PC just to download that mod. Actually, with some of the mods they did with Resident Evil Village and Mrs. D and some of her outfits, good lord, whoo! I don't know if you've seen some of them, Xylanth, but Lord have mercy, woo. That is all I would say. Whew. But yeah, like I was saying before, I was kind of like interested in seeing what kind of AI, like and I still am. I'm still willing to figure out like what kind of AI package they did with Lady D, because we have one really good AI package they could use. They could even like switch it up some. Of course, there would be mods. There would be a mod for the game that replaces. Yeah, of course, that would actually be a thing. Like that replaces all the monsters with Bonnie the Dinosaur. Of course. I mean, why not? Because apparently, if he can do it, why not do it? But yeah, like they could have easily like. I'm gonna wait until like if there's a video about this put on YouTube that discusses Lady D's AI package and how it's implemented. I'm really interested to see how that works because, like I said, we have Mr. X's AI package, which someone has already done a very fabulous video on explaining how that AI package works, and dear Lord, it's ingenious. Like, I've tested this out in my let's play. Um, Unlike with Mr. X, you don't hear footsteps all the time like you do with him. Whenever Miss D is walking around, she starts chasing you. You do, however, hear footsteps whenever she's in the same area. I don't know if it's like in the same main area, like if she's like, let's say if you're in the main entryway and she happens to be in the entryway, you hear her footsteps. I don't know like exactly if it's in the same room or if it's like an adjacent room. I don't know exactly how her footsteps being heard correlates to where her position is in relation to you. But you do hear footsteps whenever she's close by. The only problem with that is you have to find out exactly where she's coming from, because as far as I know, the footsteps don't exactly tell you exactly where. Like, you just hear them. At least with Mr. X, you can kind of sort of pinpoint, because they get louder when they're closer to you. I have had in the Let's Play a part where I heard footsteps and I'm trying to find her because I couldn't really use the footsteps to pinpoint exactly where she was, and she ended up being like right behind me, scared the crap out of me. So like if her AI package is similar to Mr. X and she walks around the castle, because okay, so with Mr. X in the remake, he doesn't just spawn in at specific points like Mr. X, well, like Nemesis does in the RE3 remake. He stays loaded into the map, which is kind of why you hear his footsteps, because whenever he's not in the same room as you, he is looking for you. Like, he is actively looking for you, which is why loud noises kind of trigger him to come towards you. So if Miss D has an AI package similar to that, that makes things a lot more creepy. I know some people think that, oh hey, knowing how the enemies work makes things look scary. But when you find out that, hey, the monster that's chasing you in real time doesn't just despawn, but he stays in the map and keeps looking for you, that's a lot more creepy than thinking, oh hey, he despawned, he isn't looking for me, that noise I hear is just to get me on edge. Yeah, it's a lot more creepy to know that, hey, this 9.5 foot tall big titty lady is still looking for me even though I don't see her. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how her AI package works. I don't know how her daughter's AI package works. I do know that certain parts of the castle triggers the daughters. There were several times when I went up the stairs on the main entryway and it triggered one of the daughters, and I don't know which daughter it is. Yeah, I'm assuming that maybe Cassandra. Uh, Honestly, I don't know which. I can't really tell the daughters apart. I do know I killed. The second one I killed was Cassandra. The first one that I killed, I don't know who that one is. I do know that I got one more left. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because I'm kind of running out of ideas. See if this work. Does it work now? Nope, still didn't work. Oh, jeez. I was really excited about playing with Reverse. But now it's not even. But yeah, this has turned from me playing the game to me talking about stuff. You don't need to be sorry. I mean, you don't work for Capcom. You're not in control of making sure the servers are up and running. Like 2 weeks after the game came out. I mean, mostly like, hold on, let's see. While we're just sitting here. Hold on. What exactly is it saying? Service. Service for this title is not available. Okay, so we're going to go on Reddit to see exactly if we can find out the reason for this not wanting to work. Okay, so it's been delayed. So, yeah, okay, so 2020. Okay, I got confused for a second. I thought we were back in 2020 for a second. But the thing is, like, okay, so I'm kind of torn about this whole thing. Excuse me, clear my throat. I don't talk this much often, normally, so my throat's not really used to me talking a lot. But like, I can understand like a game getting delayed. Like, you know, I get confused easily on the year because like it's one of those things that like with everything that's going on going on with the world, like time has been real weird for me lately. Like it's weird. Like I still find it hard to believe I'm 30 right now. My birthday was at the beginning of the month. I still find it hard that I'm 30. But like I'm torn about this game. Like, yeah, if you need to delay it to make it better, yes, go ahead. Excuse me. I can understand. You know, I'm the type of person that that if like a developer comes down and says, "Hey, we're delaying a game the game that we're making. We want to make sure that's the best game we can possibly give you, and so we have to delay it to make sure." We gotta make sure that the game is to our standards of what makes a good game. If they come out and say that and delay it, I can understand. Like hey, take all the time you want. You can make to make the best game you can. Honestly, that's what I think they should have done with Cyberpunk 2077. That game came out before it was even ready to come out. It's had 2 really big hot fixes for the PS4. Both of them 50 gigs each, give or take. Both of them fixing some of the problems with Cyberpunk, but not all of them. In fact, I've ran into a couple of glitches myself when playing it. One of them was very, very aggravating because of the fact that it got me locked into a certain part of the game to where I couldn't actually get further in, which you guys saw in the follow-up to my birthday live stream. I did eventually get past it. I kind of had to glitch the game up a little bit more. I had to because there's a button in the game that you can press to quick hack. And I basically had to spam that button just to get it to let me shoot my gun. But yeah, so essentially I kind of had to, glitch the game. And then afterwards, when I was driving my car, for no reason at all, I fell through the floor. I fell through the road. But that game, it needed to be delayed a little bit more, but fans kept getting mad because they kept delaying it. And also, the people that was over, there was a company that was in charge of CD Projekt Red, there was a company above them that was pushing them to release the game, and I think it's a little bit of everyone's fault with how the Cyberpunk came out, because that game shouldn't have been rushed out. It needed a little bit more time to cook. But yeah, on one hand I can understand it getting delayed, but on the other hand I'm why not just make it to where we can't download it until you're ready for it to come out? I mean, yes, you gave us the codes to download the game if we pre-ordered it. Why not just be oh hey, here's the code. It'll be good for whenever we release the game. Just please don't lose this. You know, pretty much, hey, if you give us a code for free stuff, most of us ain't going to lose it, you know. Hey, if you give me a code to a free game, I'm not going to lose it. So, like, now, now, like, now I have a, like, a 5 gig space in my hard drive, which luckily I have an external hard drive, a 5 gig space, like a hole, that can't be used by any other game, because it's a dead game. It's a dead game right now. Like, yes, it looks pretty on the title screen. It looks pretty on like the media bar thing on the home screen. But you know, I can't really do much with this. Like, I can just use it as a like, ooh, ah, look how pretty this is kind of thing while I talk. Like, I can't do much with this, guys. Like, people are here to watch me play the game. They're not here to hear me talk, for the most part. But yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out why it got delayed. I'm pretty sure it's just to make sure that everything works well, because we don't want a repeat of like how Apex Legends is. Good lord. Apex Legends is a bit of a mess right now. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about Resident Evil. Yeah, like it's still good to be able to talk, cause like you know, like there's people on Twitch that do this kind of thing all the time. They like get up on camera, which personally, like at this point in time with how I do stuff, like I don't feel comfortable getting on camera, like showing my face. So this is perfect. I can just, hey, look at this picture while I talk. So maybe eventually one day I do want to like, maybe once I get like a really good setup, I want to like do like on cam stuff. But not right now. Right now I don't feel really comfortable doing that. Like right now I can just hide behind the screen and feel a little bit more confident. So since I can't play this right now, we will talk a little bit about it. I am currently on the Resident Evil website, and I will actually read what they say about Reverse. So the about says, a fight to the death that all Resident Evil fans can enjoy. So it's kind of like a battle royale game, I guess. In Resident Evil Reverse, you can test your skills against other players in 4 to 6 person survival horror revenge matches. Play as beloved characters from the Resident Evil series and turn the tides of battle with powerful bioweapons. Take part in 5-minute death matches, where the player with the most points wins, unless the weapons... use the weapons and items you find to take down more powerful enemies. So it's sort of like how the extra modes were in Resident Evil 5 and 4. Mainly 5. Turn the tides with bioweapons revenge. When your character is taken out, their body transforms into a powerful bioweapon which can be used against other players. Pick up multiple virus capsules to transform into stronger bioweapons. Getting revenge with a bioweapon is also a great chance for more points. Ooh, excuse me. So, oh wait, can you play as Jack? Think that's the same? Mr. Baker? From the looks of it, you might be able to. I know from the looks of it, you can play as Honk, Leon, Claire. Oh, good lord, these graphics. Holy cow. What is going on with Claire in this picture? So, on the official Resident Evil page about this, it has screenshots and I don't know if they look like they were played on a potato. What are you playing this on a potato, people? I swear they look like they're playing this game on a potato. Which I'm pretty sure that's an insult to potatoes. So I'm pretty sure a potato will look better playing this game than this is. It doesn't work yet, hero. Like, look. Let's see. Let's show. I will show you. It does not work. So we've just been sitting here talking this entire time. Like, I was going to play the game and get my thoughts on it, but it doesn't work. This is fun. The game that came free with the $60 game doesn't work. So, we've been kind of like, yeah, we've been sitting here talking. Like, I was giving my thoughts on Resident Evil Village that I've played so far. Like, I've gotten like 4 hours into the game. I was giving my thoughts on it. We're talking about mods from Resident Evil 2, the Resident Evil 2 remake. We were talking about Lady Dimitrescu and how I sympathize with her, and I actually just got done talking about what Resident Evil Reverse was to like the people here that didn't know what it was. So yeah, this is fun. I mean, if my PS4 allowed me to switch over to different games without ending the stream, I would totally like switch over to like Overwatch or something, but I can't without ending the stream. Maybe one of these days, like if I ever get like an actual proper like computer, like gaming computer built, I'll be able to get like a thing to where I can like stream with my PS4 without streaming from it. So, because I also want to stream from my Switch too eventually one day, but the hardware I need for that is $200 just by itself. So that's fun, you know. Because my friend has one and it costs her $200, and that's for the one that's like external, that plugs into your computer, but it doesn't get installed into your computer. So yeah, it's a capture card. It is a capture card. I just remember what it was. Let's see. Hold on. It may have gone down some. Let's see. Capture card. Because the one my friend has does 720, and it's an Elgato. Let's see. Because I know the exact one she has. Which, yeah, this is the one she has, the Elgato HD 60S. Right now it's $157. But it's not in stock yet. Like, it's out of stock. And it works really well for her. It works really well. It also comes with like a free live streaming thing that's different than Streamlabs, which I would probably use instead of Streamlabs, because Streamlabs like to give like problems from what I've heard. So, because she used it to, my friend, who is also one of my mods too, uses it to stream get her Pokemon games, her Monster Hunter Rise game, Animal Crossing when she does Animal Crossing. What other games does she have that she streams on Switch? Uno, whenever we play Uno, she streams that with her Elgato. And the quality on that is really good, you know, it's fine, it's awesome. Especially for the price. For the price for like $200, you can't, like, it's really good for like $200. For me, like doing that would, like, having that to, like, cause with this one, the Elgato HD 60S, not only can I do it with the Switch, but I can also do it with the PS4. Like, I can hook it up to my PS4 and stream just fine with it. So, for $200, like, it's actually really good. Let's see, let's see. We also have some other options here. We have one that does 4K, that you install into your computer, that has a higher higher bit rate. Then we have another one that's installed to your computer, but doesn't do it doesn't do 4K. But it does have, but it's installed into your computer, and it also has a hardware encoder. So, like at this point, whenever I do eventually get to building my own PC, I'm going to have to look into the different options, and talk to some people that are more technology knowledgeable than I am, and see what they say. Get their opinion on this, because like the one that my friend has, and the one that doesn't do 4K that's installed into your computer, they are the same price. And you would think that a hardware encoder would be pretty good. It seems like just the name of it, like just the term hardware encoder sounds like would be a good thing. Let's see. Though I will say, if I ever do getting this 4K 60 4K 60 would be actually really good, but I don't know if like how powerful my computer would have to be to actually do 4K live streaming. Because I think at first, just when I first started live streaming, I do want to just like kind of, I don't want to like, I kind of want to be able to just kind of, start out. I'm not going to try to go for like the best thing. I just want something to get me started, Because for me, my dream setup is like dual screens, and like eventually when I get more confident, a webcam. But like right now, I just kind of want like dual screens. That way I can have my game on one screen, my YouTube chat up on the next screen, on the other screen, a good mic, because I do know of a couple mics that I want, at least one mic that I want to get that's pretty good. It's $100, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty good. So yeah, like, though that's something I would have to save up for, and I would have to move my room around a little bit, because at this point I don't have, like, honestly, this is something I can't really do right now, because with how the outlets for my bedroom is set up, the only kind of like thing that has like 3 prongs to it to plug in, like the 2 regular prongs and the grounding one, is right next to my bed, and then there's one that my TV and my game consoles are hooked up to. It's the one I use for my game consoles. So if I do this, if I do build my own computer, I would have to either very awkwardly put it next to my bed, which, let's be honest, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit my like computer right next to my bed. Like this honestly, there's no room. Or put it on my TV stand, which honestly, like, I don't think my TV stand would be able to support just the monitor itself. And honestly, I would have to like sit up right next to my TV entertainment center just to like be on the computer. And honestly, there's not enough room on my TV in my entertainment center in the first place to really have a computer on there. Plus, my internet, I would want my computer hooked directly up to the internet. Like, I want a physical connection. And my modem is in the other room. It's in the living room. And yeah, that's putting up a computer in there is out of the question. So Yeah, this is building my own laptop and doing things that way. It's something that I'm gonna have to eventually like lead up to. So it's an eventuality if it's something I ever do decide to go and do. But right now I'm kind of happy with what I got now. If I do um, decide to, cause honestly, with my laptop right now, if I get some more RAM for my laptop right now, cause it can have 32 gigs of RAM. If I can get all like two 16 gig uh RAM sticks and put it in, I can get a fairly decent editing software that, it's fairly cheap. I don't have to pay a monthly thing for it. That I can actually edit my own videos. And, like, all I would have to do is, like, get like, the microphone I want to get, use that, get, like, uh, the thing that, pop filter, and, call it good, use the headphones I got, I can make, like, vlogs and stuff with that, you know, so I can sit there and I can edit my videos that I take on my PS4 on my computer with my laptop if I get the RAM, which will cost me. Let's see here. I have it saved because just in case, because I want to make sure I get the best deal. I can get it for $80 per stick, so that ain't bad. That like each stick is like $80. That ain't bad. You know, five. That's a pretty good deal. And the RAM the RAM I have saved is the specific RAM for my computer. So I know my computer can handle it. I would just have to like buy it and then put it in myself because like one of the tech people I have lives in the next town over, and it takes like 45 minutes to get from his place to my place, and then another 45 minutes to get back home. So it's like just about 2 hours, back and forth. And the other tech person that I know lives like in another state, so that takes that takes a while to get from his place to my place, and then yeah, like that I'm not like there's no way I'm gonna ask him to come down here to do this. So if I do this, it's something I would have to do myself. I would have to be like really careful not to break my laptop and do it myself. Um, but yeah. But yeah, more RAM would be really good for this laptop. Like it does good with what I got, but like I want to be able to do more stuff with it. You know. Let's see. What else? What else can we talk about? Whoop. Let's see. You guys got any topics you guys want to talk about? Let's see. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I got reverse. That's a really good question. I'm assuming it's like the verse part is short for verses. I'm assuming. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, my cousin had a birthday today. Okay, that's cool. I did not know that. But yeah, I got a new book, a new D&D book came out today, which I promise kind of ties in with this whole Resident Evil Village part. It's called Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. For those of you who don't know anything about D&D, Ravenloft is basically the home. It's a like this big area of land that incorporates like a village and the surrounding area, like surrounding area, and it was originally in Faerun, which is the world that D&D canonically takes place in. Like, you can build your own worlds and have D&D take place in, whatever world you want to, but canonically, D&D mainly takes place in Faerun. If you play any of the modules, like if you play Mines of Houndelver or Curse of Strahd or Horde of the Dragon Queen, I think that's the name of one, or like there's several other ones. If you play any of the modules, they take place in Faerun. But Ravenloft is a village in the surrounding area that was taken from Faerun and ripped from Faerun and now exists in its own like little pocket dimension. Like it's a place you can go to, but it's not like like a physical place that you can go into Faerun. Let's see. Let's pull up a page for it. So it's okay. So it's like it's in its own little thing. It's connected to the Forgotten Realms, which is basically Faerun, and then all of the different realms that are connected to it. There's several different planes that are connected to Faerun, and they all are part of the Forgotten Realms. And it's connected to the Forgotten Realms through the ethereal plane, which is its own thing I could go through. Let's see. Yeah, but it basically has like it's in its own extra dimensional place. It's also the home of a vampire. It's home to a guy named Strahd. I don't know exactly what Strahd did to get Ravenloft to be torn asunder from Faerun or the Forgotten Realms, but he did a thing, and that happened. And so, in Von Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, it has various different things you can. It's basically like a book you can use to put your games in Ravenloft. It's like you can use this book to make games, like to come up with campaigns and stuff that take place in Ravenloft. And it also comes with like three different races you can use to make characters. Like, for those of you who don't know, whenever you make a character in D&D, you have a race you pick from, and then a class. The races are like elves, dwarves, humans, tieflings, which are devil people, half orcs, half elves, cat people, bird people, You can even make a bugbear if you want to make a bugbear. You can make an orc if you want to make an orc. There are books that let you make orcs. You can make kobolds. You can make dragonborns. And no, they're not dragonborns from Skyrim. They're bipedal dragon people, but they're not. They're dragonborns are related to dragons, but they're not dragons. They're kind of like a descendant of dragons. Depending on which world to take place in. Faerun, I think they're related to dragons, but they're not dragons. But you can make, there's, by now at this point in 5e, there's several different races you can choose from to make. And classes are basically kind of like, what does your character do in the party? Like mangers, thief, wizard, druid, fighter, bard, sorcerer, warlock, several other ones too. There's a couple others that are not in the main handbook that you can use, but there are 3 new races that you can use in Ron Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and one of them is basically kind of like a watered down vampire, because in D&D 5e you can become a vampire, but the moment you do, you lose all control of that character. If you're D&D, you're hey Daniel, you came into me talking about D&D. I was going to, in all intents and purposes, play Resident Evil Reverse, but as you can tell here, it's not started. The service hasn't begun yet, so we've just been sitting here, just talking about various whatever topics we happen to think of. But in D&D, you can play. If you become a vampire in D&D, you lose all control, because the DM, whenever he, like, if he makes it to where you become a vampire, if he's worth his salt, he generally just takes away control of that character, because at that point you become a bloodthirsty monster. Yeah, unfortunately, Reverse has become delayed until summer. We don't have an official release date of when it becomes available yet. We just know it's sometime in the summer. We don't even know really why it's being delayed. It's just being delayed. I'm assuming, and don't take what I'm going to say as any like official thing. I'm assuming it's just because they're probably trying to hammer out some kinks in the game. They want to make it as best as they can for when we play it. With this being a multiplayer game, they probably want to make sure that the matchmaking is pretty good and that the servers aren't going to crash on us. Because we know what happens when you have bad servers, especially if you play Apex Legends, and you don't want to have bad servers, because good lord, the servers for Apex Legends are horrible. So, I'm assuming that's what the Capcom is doing. I don't really know. So play vampire and D&D now, yay! The book came out on the 18th, I think, but I just ordered it not too long ago. I ordered it like on the 19th, so it should be coming in tomorrow. Oh hey, new people that are coming in. I want to tell y'all, like I told Daniel, we can't play yet because services are not here yet. So yeah, this is fun. We've just been sitting here talking, as you can probably tell from my voice, because it's kind of like weird right now. Because, good lord, I'm not used to talking this long. It's been like 60 minutes. So, thanks for coming in, folks. But I do. Oh, my voice sounds rough. It's gonna hate me tomorrow, because tomorrow when I wake up, it's probably gonna like be out. But I already have an idea for a character that's a vampire, or basically the watered down vampire. Oh, you just got the game today? Nice. Have you played it? Have you played it at all? Any? And if you have, what do you think about it? Yeah, hey, yeah, I didn't know if you knew Sydney. It's just, I just kind of want to make sure, anyone who comes into the stream knows that, the reason why I'm not playing the game is because it's not out yet. So, I just kind of want to like let any new viewers that came in, know, what we're doing. So they're not expecting me to like be miraculously playing it. So yeah. I like to keep you guys, I like to keep you guys informed whenever you guys first come in. Oh, you should definitely play it, Daniel. Like it's a good game. I mean, obviously if you bought it, you wouldn't play it, but it's it's like Resident Evil Village. So far, like I've only gotten 4 hours into the game, but so far for me, I think I like it a lot. It's a whole lot better than Resident Evil 6 was for me. Um, Which pretty much with how much I dislike 6, pretty much any game in the series is pretty much better than 6. Like I will say here I despise Resident Evil 6. I mean, but if you like Resident Evil 6, then hey, more power to you. You know, I'm not one to judge you based on whichever games you happen to like in the series. I am like, hey, everyone has their own views on what they like and what they don't like. You can get a lightsaber in the game? How in the world do you get a lightsaber? Like, what exactly? Like, what are the like steps you have to do to get that? I didn't even know you could get that. That is like awesome. Cindy, you must tell us the story of how, like, the steps on how you get this lightsaber in the game. And does it make the game infinitely easier to play? Because if it does, I'll have to like play the game again once I get done with it and like try to get it myself. So while we're waiting for Cindy to explain to us, now we get it. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, you have to get the S rank. Okay, Daniel. Yeah. Go eat. Go take care of yourself. That's what I like to do. Like, with this community, like like with my friends and stuff and my fans. Hey, if you have to leave the stream to go take care of like something and you have to go eat, hey, that's fine. Real life comes before enjoying my stream. That's how I see it. Go take care of stuff. You can always come back and watch me later because I always make sure that my streams are saved to my channel. So you gotta beat the game and get all this. Like, I feel like nice. I got a new follower on the PS4. I couldn't really read the name, but I got thanks to whoever is following me on the PS4 now. I really appreciate you following me. Hopefully you enjoy the stuff I do. That's probably why you follow me because you enjoy my stuff. You know, I do more than just Resident Evil. I do... Nice. Another person follow me. Thank you, Vampire Lycan 121. Thanks for following. I do more than just Resident Evil stuff. I do Overwatch. I do Elder Scrolls, which I have to get back into doing that. I do Apex Legends. Apex Legends and Resident Evil are the two main things I do. But I do want to eventually... I do want to eventually diversify. Vampire Like